Okay, so the 11-meter rigid hull inflatable boat designed by George Hicks, but with a accompaniment of 8 minifigures. So I think Landon had quite a role to play in this kit as well. George, this is the first time you've seen this thing with all of its printing and figures, etc. So what's your reaction to being able to see your creation?
Lot better than what I had pictured in my head. Brennan was the project manager on this, so we went back and forth trying to figure out what detail we wanted on it, what printed parts. And then, of course, in my original design, these front bows were black, but I did not realize those are a very rare, expensive piece. So we decided to go with a lighter color and then just had Slam print some black stripes to match the black down the side, which the rope detail on there turned out amazing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Much better than I was anticipating. So, and then got a little detail in here for the instrument paneling. Looks like a navigation screen and some dials. And then on the front, looks like we've got a access hatch for some of the controls underneath the steering wheel.
Not a sticker on this bad boy. You gotta like that.
Say, I am a huge fan of printing myself. Stickers are the bane of Lego mock existence. So, guys really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I love the variety, Landon. Obviously, that was part of the reason that we kept this this kit under wraps, because we wanted to make sure that we could nail down exactly what this boat deserved crew-wise. So why don't you start walking us through what you got here, Landon?
Yeah, this was quite the endeavor. We were kind of at a spot where we were deciding on which direction to go with this. Do we want to just have like, you know, 1 or 2 crew with the boat and then do a standalone thing? I think initially we had maybe like 1 or 2 of the seals here just called out for, but as we were looking into it more, it's these guys are all so unique, and especially at kind of these top tier operators here, they really do have unique gear pretty much for each individual guy. So not every person is 100% unique. You know, we have a little bit of crossover in uniforms here, but there is a lot of unique gear for each minifigure. So maybe I can just kind of go down the line. Starting off with a basic crew over here. I really like this, the gray, different, it's just a plain gray uniform. And that's sort of, when they're boarding ships or just, you don't really need like a woodland or desert camouflage when you're out, on a ship or something, So you see this a lot, and especially amongst these seals here, they really do mix their camouflages a lot. So it's like you have this. So the main one here is this AOR2, and that used to be kind of exclusive to these guys, and so that's more of like a tropical kind of camouflage. But then you still see it mixed a lot of times with this is AOR1 on this guy's plate carrier. Mm-hmm. So he's got this plate carrier is the removable body armor vest, and so it seems to be kind of exclusive to these guys. Or they very commonly use them.
The crew specifically, or are you talking about the SEAL company?
And, I haven't delved that deeply into it, but it seems kind of like, you only really see that mainly around these guys. So I could be totally wrong on that. So that there are 2 different plate carriers that we're seeing here. So it's this bigger one, this body armor, and then you have the jumpable plate carrier on these more high speed kind of guys. And this is a really bare bones plate carrier. There's just so much stuff here. I don't even know where to delve into this.
You've got a lot of detail packed into these guys.
So I mean, maybe just one guy at a time. I'm just jumping around too much. So yeah, simple for the crew here. He's just he's manning the guns. He's driving the boat. You name it. Another kind of this guy's also would be kind of sort of considered crew, but he's maybe a bit more. He could work with the SEALs more directly, but he's on all the crew, you have these giant microphones. I don't know if any more of those guys. Where are they at? So you have these really big microphones with that the microphone cover. So in high wind environments, they can talk.
Oh yeah, duh.
Right. So they're just in constant. They all have radios. They're in communication with each other. Let's see. This guy's one of my favorites. He's got a flag on the back, and that's. There's a few different reasons why they could have a flag kind of tied at the back of their plate carrier like that. You see that kind of more and more. The first and foremost, it's an identification thing. You can lay out this huge flag on the top of your ship or on your vehicle, if you're deployed wherever you happen to be, it's like this is who we are. Don't bomb us.
Please don't shoot us.
But then there's also, I think, obviously a morale thing to it. You're bringing a flag into combat, and it's a piece of America, right?
I've never seen the end of The Patriot. You know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and that's just like a
Great
cool
movie.
memento to bring back with you after a mission, So so that's the crew right there, and decked out in all these different. So this is a pretty simple, full camouflage, that AOR2 uniform for the crew. They also have just some ammo pouches, again in that our RBAV, removable body armor vest. These guys are in that, so that comes in different camouflage schemes there. So that's that for the crew. Moving on to the SEALs themselves. We'll see these guys more commonly in combat. What is it called? The combat trousers, combat jacket. So that's kind of like it's like a compression shirt, but then with those camouflage sleeves onto that. So that used to be back originally. They would custom make that, but now these are totally mass produced now and kind of become more of a standard part of special forces and military personnel. It just allows for that plate carrier to be on top of your uniform, and really just like you don't really need pockets underneath of a plate carrier.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a nice lightweight configuration here. Again, these guys are like boarding ships or landing. Just high speed, really intense operations. So they are wearing about as minimal gear as you can get.
So with the gear and that camouflage, because the gear comes through really clean, but did you have any trouble working with kind of such a fine camo to make the artwork actually?
Yeah, I mean that's always a huge challenge, because this camouflage in particular, with digital camouflage, it's always kind of tough to know what scale you want to make each pixel in, because it's not going to be a 1-for-1 scale down. Like when you're building a model, you're trying to get as close as you can to the correct scale, but sometimes at a minifigure, a minifigure already is a weird scale. Like you're dealing with a 4-foot wide head.
Yeah.
I guess as a kit designer, you might have run into that a few times. Like,
We've had a couple incidents where you kind of take a little artistic.
right.
What's the word?
Sure. The liberty.
The artistic liberty, and say, well, that's as close as it's going to get.
Right.
So, but definitely on minifigures, you try to shrink down some of that stuff, and it gets blurry. You lose
Right.
it, and they're odd size.
Yes, they are very.
But they look so good.
Some other interesting things. I'm gonna just jump around here. I can't focus on one dude.
Totally fine. I'll keep tracking with the
So this guy right here, he's got they're based on Converse. What are those, Chuck Taylors?
Chuck Taylors.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So you would see that back even like, they had canvas shoes back even into like World War II. It's originally like a civilian shoe, right? And especially for these guys that are working in the water, you need something that dries really quick. Well, combat boots don't dry very fast, but these kind of these sneakers did. And these ones, they fit into the fins. So it's like you can have your diving fins on, slip those off, and you got shoes just ready to go.
They're literally tactical chucks.
Tactical Chucks.
They literally are Chucks. Like it's a civilian purchase. You'll see that occasionally. What's funny is that it became such like a ubiquitous thing, or people were doing it enough that it facilitated another company to step up and make a commercially produced one specifically marketed towards SEALs. So these are again kind of these sneakers, but they have drainage holes on them, and like it's actually like military sneakers, I guess. Military canvas sneakers.
Kind of like the Vietnam era combat boots.
Right,
With
yeah.
the drainage holes.
Right. So it's
Interesting.
Yeah, it is cool seeing these different. Even in Vietnam, you'd see them wearing like, sneakers like this sometimes. So it's crazy. It's cool seeing stuff pop up everywhere.
Absolutely.
What else? Let's see. On the back, you get these things. Maybe they're called like kidney beans. They're not called kidney beans, but you hear them called that. And it's like little inflatable. Like life preserver things that are attached to your belt. So I was looking at these guys, like where are their life vests when I was kind of first like researching them. And it's like, if they go in the water, they're wearing a lot of gear, and like, yeah, they're good swimmers, but I'd imagine you still in an emergency need a life vest. So I was kind of digging into that, And yeah, I started seeing these little black pouches pop up. So they have a little pull cord on top of each of them, and they just inflate into a life vest, so they can stay above the water, right? So that's kind of a cool detail across all these guys. Guy with Chuck Taylors, he's got bolt cutters as well. I'd imagine when you're boarding ships, sometimes you need to gain access into
the locks
places.
off, yeah.
Yep. So he's got that. A detail that I admit that I didn't get in on there. Sometimes you'll see it secured down with a bungee cord, just like straight from Menards. It's like some Home Depot bungee cord just strapped to keep those like bolt cutters or even like their weapons. So for their weapons, they have, you see these retention lanyards. They all should have them. Let's see. There's something just like looking too close here. Here, these guys have them. The crew has them. It goes underneath their arm, kind of. They'll use that to hold their weapons down. So they should all have retention lanyards that they'll. So typically for land forces, they'll have that retention lanyard to hold on to the vehicle or the aircraft they're in. I'm sure they're doing that here to some effect.
Oh, I would say, especially if they're climbing up a ladder.
But right
to
here,
board a
they're
ship.
using it more to hold the weapon against their back. What I saw a good amount of time. Moving on.
Those fast helmets.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Fast
Amazing.
helmets. They have the. You see again a lot of mix in gear in real life. So sometimes they'll have the camouflage covers. A lot of times they won't. But it's just this highly diverse group of camouflage patterns and uniforms that they have access to, almost more than any other special forces that I've seen.
From a kit standpoint, I'm glad they're all printed.
Yeah.
If it's not necessarily as accurate, they look badass.
They do look great.
Yeah, I'm
Things
excited
like
to
that.
see people like mixing and matching from their own collection in with this. So that's kind of always my thought behind minifigures is like, what can you do to kind of take it to a different level? It's really cool seeing.
Oh, you think like that?
What, me?
So I've already seen, just from the recent GMV kit that was released, the two figures in there, the helmets used on different camouflage bodies and
Right.
different heads and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great way to get custom printed
Absolutely. I mean, we
fast
got
helmets, especially right now.
4 of these across the board. Sometimes you'll even see. I don't have any multicam on any of these guys, but you'll see even multicam with in this uniform configuration. So really, they are using almost every like modern camouflage available to their disposal, right? Last guy, we got kind of a sniper dude. He's got a very basic loadout, maybe more geared towards like ground operations. He's got those hiking boots on. Again, not combat boots because he's going. It's more like again that high speed. You don't want to be slowed down by some bulky combat boots. It's more.
Especially in a team deathmatch.
Especially in a team. What? What? I don't know where that came from. Pistol holster. Pistol holster. And again, he's wearing that combat shirt. Very simple. It's not even a plate carrier. It's this. If this guy's sneaking around, if he needs to rely on a plate carrier, he messed up. It's like This is purely. This is a very minimal, just kind of ammo, like chest rig there. He's got some spare ammunition, some supplies, and that's it. He's in and out, not getting shot at. He's a little bit further away from that combat, or being sneaky about it anyways. What else we got? Got some tourniquets. I mean, all these guys have, I think, there's some tourniquets dispersed throughout this crew. Radios. We got some pliers on the side. That's cool. Why does he got pliers? I don't know. I like the bandana and the beard. He's kind of grizzled and whatnot. I don't know what else. What else do you want to go over? Anything else that I missed?
I think you about nailed it all. So
I think this is the biggest.
that's a
crew.
lot of minifigures for this boat.
I think I know the answer, but what's your favorite one, George?
I gotta go with the bearded guy here. So kind of looks like somebody we know, especially with those tactical CT pliers on the side. So
Tactical pliers.
tactical pliers.
Attention to-
You
attention
never
to
know when you
detail.
gotta cut a tripwire or
Exactly.
tighten a loose nut.
Exactly.
So they go everywhere.
Right
Always
on.
good to have
Oh,
on hand.
always good to have on hand. Or you may get a beer that's not twist top. So
That's true.
for those of legal drinking age,
Which most seals would be.
most seals, yes. So
Phenomenal.
no, I mean that I'll say let's load them up.
Yeah?
There we
Let's
go.
do it.
Let's see the fully loaded thing. Nice ending shot.
All right, I got the crew set aside here. Maybe this guy's the driver, I don't know.
But otherwise, that is the breakdown for the 11-meter rigid hull inflatable boat. Kind of a long-awaited kit, but one that we were excited to get put together the way it should have been done, which is fully loaded with these guys, and obviously that awesome printing, etc. So definitely a centerpiece for Spec Ops Bricks, and one that you won't want to miss, and one that hopefully we can restock. Who knows? We'll see how it goes over in the future. But man, I'm excited to see this coming to a variety of mocks in the future. Because
Yeah, this is quite the undertaking.
it's
for
not missing anything.
cross
That's-
departments, you know.
It's just like, it doesn't leave you wanting. It's
No, it's ready to go.
Hard Brickmania. It's awesome.
It's ready to go. There we go, man. That's decked out. It was really fun pouring over all the different source imagery and just sort of seeing at a glance they all kind of look the same. Like there's a uniformity to it, but once you start looking closer, it's like these are all clearly like unique individual. Like they have their own custom gear, they have their own custom, loadouts, everything. It's this is cool.
Turned out really great. And say, also these back seats fold forward. I've seen a couple reference photos of that. So I'm not real certain why they fold forward, but they do.
Are there beer coolers underneath?
There could be.
I think that might be.
I mean, everybody's got to have a cold drink while you're on a boat, right? So, but yeah, I say this kit turned out great. I knew we were going to take the minifig level up a notch, but I didn't know we were going this big.
I don't think
Turned
any
out
of us knew.
pretty damn cool.
It snowballed in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. So Spec Ops month has been just fantastic in my book.
Right on.
So
Yep, and when things snowball here at Brickmania, the fans win. And
Yes.
I'd say that is exactly what happened with this situation as well. So there's the breakdown. Thank you guys very much for watching.